All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Steven Jackson and Brian Scalabrini are back.
Hit him.
You ever been in this segment?
Twitter off.
Twitter off.
What are you plugging here?
Best-selling
author. Best-selling author. You can let me have this book?
Yeah, you gave me them slides. I got you.
Yeah.
Show antisocial.
Never shut up. I like that.
Why you didn't put it back up?
Our social media manager, Darnell Smith, is here. He's repping me and you, Mark.
Well, he got a lot of thoughts. All that food. Messing with both of y'all both be eating.
All right, Darnell.
Yes, sir.
Popping on them Twitter streets.
We're going to start off with Zion Williamson, who we all know suffered a knee injury after his Nikes exploded on the court. Well, yesterday, Zion was on Instagram Live rocking a full Adidas jumpsuit. You know, Twitter was going wild with people debating whether or not this was a sign he's already negotiating with Adidas. I personally didn't see this as a big deal. Do you guys think he's just trolling Nike here?
Not at all.
No, he's raising up the stakes. He's like, don't think I'm just going to sign with you because I went to Duke.
Yes, sir.
You got to offer me a big deal, and Adidas is interested as well.
There you go. I mean, when you in college, you broke, supposedly. So if you broke, you got to just wear what you got.
What that mean, Marcel?
That's supposedly.
I
Depends
agree
on what
with you.
school you went to.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Growing up in all those camps, you get all that Nike and Adidas gear. You know, he's too young. He ain't throwing that stuff away. That's something
He's doing that on purpose.
Nah, he's not doing that on
Oh,
purpose.
yeah.
Nah.
My shoes exploded. I want y'all to come with that big money. Not 10 million. I want 100 million.
Actually, that's somebody who's on their phone and took a picture of him. He's just talking. He ain't telling nobody to do that. That's on somebody else's phone.
And that happened
he didn't have
weeks
nothing to do
ago.
with that.
Yeah, when did it happen? The shoe exploded weeks ago. Why don't you troll immediately if you want to get
That's
it?
a sweatsuit he had from one of the Adidas camps.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
How
Stop.
come he ain't wearing big baller stuff, man?
Huh?
Nobody wears big baller.
They don't sponsor camps. You know how much it costs?
They don't fulfill orders either.
They shoes don't explode. They shoes don't explode. All right,
Allegedly.
Darnell, what's next?
To the NBA.
Oh, wow.
The drama just keep piling up for my Lakers. Down big in the fourth quarter, Ray John Rondo was seen sitting in a fan's empty courtside seat, multiple spots away from the Lakers bench. Fans on Twitter noticed it and let him have it. Rondo was asked about it after the game and said he doesn't see what all the fuss is about, that he's done it maybe 8 to 10 times this year. Y'all think Twitter's overreacting, or is this a big deal?
When it rains, it pours. Boy, losing, boy. They find anything when they start digging, don't they, Stack?
I'm talking about if he had different shoestrings, somebody would say, wow, he ain't matching with the team no more. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Yeah.
When you losing, they nitpick on anything. Like you say, he's done it before.
Yeah.
It makes sense. There's no seats on the bench. He sits on the floor half the time.
Yeah.
Because there's no seats on the bench.
I think
Everybody's
there
gone.
was a seat right next to LeBron.
Everybody's gone, though.
I was pretty sure there was a seat next to LeBron. He wanted a different angle.
He was sitting next to 2 Chainz and his family, though.
Yeah.
He got the assist. He got the assist to LeBron to break the record, too. So they're not beefing.
No.
They're not beefing.
Well, here's what I found interesting, to be quite honest.
Here we go.
Whitlock
Glad
special.
you mentioned 2
Heat
Chainz.
up. Whitlock special.
2 Chainz and his wife, or what? I just don't think it's a pro. And 2 Chainz, I don't mean no offense. I did listen to some rap or go to the league last night. I'm not trying to figure. Why is the child sitting on the front row? That's dangerous to me.
Oh, that is.
No. That's Deuce. Deuce needs to be there. He's soaking up game. If you know Deuce, he's one of the roughest little kids in the world. That ain't nothing to him. You want your son to have that experience.
Yeah, I give you
want your
that.
son.
But it is dangerous.
That's
They roll
Deuce.
into the stands.
That's the roughest kid you ever met.
He ain't
That's
taking
Deuce.
LeBron head on.
Deuce ain't born that. Deuce good. Trust me, Deuce good. Don't worry about that.
Don't play with
Deuce
Deuce.
good.
I can't argue. I don't know Deuce.
Deuce good.
What is he,
just
Bam
telling you,
Bam?
Deuce good.
He Bam Bam?
Deuce a real.
He take them hits. He take them hits, huh?
Deuce a
All
real.
right, I'm going to leave that alone.
Deuce a real.
Deuce may want to come at me. I don't want no smoke with Deuce.
I don't know problem.
I don't either.
Grease fire.
Grease fire, dude.
All right, Darnell, what's next?
Oh, man. Moving on to a hot topic online. Rapper Travis Scott seems to be going through a rough patch with his billionaire girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. Word on the street is Kylie found multiple overly friendly messages with women in Trav's DMs and accused him of cheating, right? Trav obviously denied his allegations and then deactivated his Instagram account to prove his commitment to their relationship.
Man.
Do you guys think that this is going to be a new trend for couples?
I'm saying, if my girl was a billionaire, I erase everything.
Exactly.
I don't get my tattoos removed.
Do what you
Whatever
gotta
need
do.
If
You
you're a
have my whole
billionaire.
phone. I don't even need
What?
that.
A billionaire? Man, whatever you need me to erase. Social, anything, I'm erasing it.
You want my name changed?
Whatever you need. The whole phone.
I stopped
Travis
rapping.
Jenner. Hey, first of all, this ain't no new trend. If you ever been in love, you don't think straight. And if you ever been caught on that edge, you got to do some things at times. Don't act that tough, y'all out there.
Right.
And it's a smart move, but it's also weak sauce. You can't remove the temptation out of someone's life. People always, I heard my homeboys, oh, my girl won't let me go to Brazil. Why? You can cheat down the street in Idaho, dog. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? Are you on Instagram? No more on Instagram. All right, baby, now I'm going to the post office. I'm going to post office.
I disagree.
Them same DMs going to pop back up.
Man, come on.
You're not old enough to remember. I'm just telling you. I agree with Travis's move here, man. This technology has made cheating easier. And it's made it more temptation. So get some of the technology out of your life, some of the access.
He's right back on. He got back on the same day.
The same DM's gonna pop right back.
He's back on. He's good now.
He's back on. He did it for one day. He's like, baby, I love you.
He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. He got to be on social media.
He's like, oh, you need it, baby. Look.
It's like getting in trouble. Like, you got to go to your room for a day. That's it. All right, with no Instagram, one day. Not even a week, one day.
That flight to Brazil, delayed. He still got on it, though. He's still in Brazil. He back in it.
All right, Darnell, I think it's time for the question of the day. Take it over.
Where'd he go?
It's Darnell.
That's my guy. My guy.
My question of the day.
My guy. My guy.
My question of the day. 285 pounds. In college.
That's legal. College hits.
Yeah. All right, guys. So you all know a lot of athletes, professional athletes specifically, have came from tough backgrounds. And so my question for you guys is: does growing up in the hood or just growing up struggling better prepare you for the real world?
No.
Thank you.
Why not?
No.
It could.
I mean, in certain ways, it helps. It helps, but in certain ways it helps, but it don't get you over. You know what I mean? Perfect example. I came up hard, and there's a lot, and getting to the NBA, I had to go through a lot of stuff. And growing up prepared me for that. But a lot of things that when I got to the NBA, that same situation in the area that they taught me hurt me too. So it can go both ways.
I will say that the hood, 99% of that stuff, as John Singleton showed in Higher Learning, you have to unlearn.
Yeah.
Only the strong survive. So if you make it out of there, you are tougher. But let's be real about the hood. It is decaying life and destroying lives. And only a few get out of that situation. So I look at it like we're post-traumatic stress, and there were so many things I had to recalibrate once I got out of the hood. Because, put it like this, you don't believe me? How many people that make it want to live in the hood still? You know why? Because of the circumstances, because of the surroundings.
Learn how to make it to the NBA.
Right. You're tougher, huh?
Suburban basketball is the worst when it comes to. So if all you guys that have kids that play up in the suburbs, you're doing your kid a disservice.
I had a number of talks with NBA players at All-Star Weekend last year about our sons, because we all had our sons with us. And when they all going through the same thing, they scared to shake each other's hands. They growing up, they don't have that toughness in them. They don't have that will to win, the will to fight to be great like we did. We had to go through a lot of odds. Everything's handed to them.
One thing, I was a teammate with Ray Allen, and he had this conversation with me. He said, the hood is different the way I grew up. He said, and I don't know if this is true, that it's crabs in a bucket. Once you're trying to get yourself out, he said, someone's going to try to rip you back down. True or not true?
Against all odds. Like he said, it's against all odds.
I don't think that's 1,000% accurate. And Marcel, your point about, no one wants to go back to the hood, I think a lot of that has to do with...
No, I said live.
Yeah,
not go back. I go back all the time.
Got you. Right, live. I think a lot of that just has to do with the violence. And it's not... so because when I think of my childhood memories, I can remember my cousin, my auntie and them, they lived in one of the hardest projects in Indianapolis when we was kids. And my memories of that and going over and staying for the summer, some of the greatest memories of my life. Nothing but fun for me as a kid. And then I think about me and my father living in a 1-bedroom, 400 square foot apartment my senior year of high school in the hood. I don't really have bad memories of it. It was.
Yeah, you did, because you extracted the violence out the hood and said, other than that, it's great. Guess what? You extracted your highlights from your memories and from your upbringing. Let's talk about the complete picture. I mean, I get what you're saying. I have an amazing upbringing. It was a beautiful experience, but boy, was it hell to pay. And I went through a lot of stuff, and I'm just saying I can't piece out and parse what was good from bad.
But I'll just say this: my father had a successful bars that he ran most of my childhood and into my adult life. He built a brand new home in the hood. He never wanted to leave his people.
Yeah. My grandma.
And and so I have kept his business. And his business, the Masterpiece Lounge, he had one before Jimmy's Bar, J Bar J. those are literally my favorite places on earth. Nothing I love more than being at my father's bar in the hood.
And I understand it because I built my mom, my grandmother's house. She wanted me to build a house, buy the lot next to her house in the hood where we grew up and build her a big house there.
Yeah.
And I say it to say some people are not afraid to go home. I'm not afraid to go home. Some people, you know, I love everybody and I don't have to worry about getting shot or nothing like that. But some people are scared to go home for other reasons. People begging, all kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just expecting you to owe them something. So it's different reasons for not going back, but it's a true statement. Most people that make it out the hood and they go back, they end up getting killed at home.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I agree with you. My grandmother they get so comfortable. My grandmother, like the mayor of Compton before she passed, she didn't want to go anywhere no matter what you offered her. But then you got to also understand, she's almost like grandfather, grandmother in. Like they just so comfortable. Now you go back in there, man, it's tough. You can go, but you better not live.
Aren't we avoiding it? The question, though, is does it prepare you for the real world?
It prepares you. It can help you and hurt you.
It can help you.
Yeah, and you guys, all three of you guys would say, like, it prepared me for this.
I'll say
Some people know, but you guys say yes.
Stack's comments, and I believe this, and I don't mean this disrespectful.
No.
If there was a little less hood, you could have been an even greater NBA player.
Well, I don't blame it on the hood. I blame it on my decisions that I chose to do. I decided not to work out while I was in the NBA. I decided to party instead of going get extra shots because I was still good enough to play with that. So I don't blame that on the hood. I blame that more on myself.
All right, coming up, Charles Barkley just called out Kyrie Irving in a major way. We'll tell you why he may be onto something.